So the non-calculator portion of the Chapter 8 test, we'll do this the second day of testing on Wednesday of this week. Today we're going to finish up this in class, work on the calculator test the next day, work on the non-calculator portion the next day. So in these problems, remember what's what here. In y equals ab to the x, growth or decay is based upon the growth or decay factor. So if that number is greater than 1, it's growth. If it is between 0 and 1, it's decay. Okay, so that number is over 1, simple as that, growth. That number is less than 1, decay. Also, another way, you just plug in any number. Is it going to be smaller or bigger? If it's going to be smaller, it's decay. If it's going to be larger, it's growth. This one, of course, is growth because 8/7 is a fraction greater than 1, whereas this fraction is less than 1, so decay. There's no such thing as a negative exponent in these problems, okay? Or as a negative growth factor, excuse me. These, remember, you need to be able to go back and forth. You should have memorized these by now. Probably should be the first thing you write on top of your test, both this calculator version, the calculator version, or the non-calculator version, and plug them in, right? B, X, and Y, plug them into the other form. Y, B, and X, plug them into the other form. Remember, I can not have 10 here, or I can write 10 here. It means the same thing. Down below, changing these, again, from one form to the other, identify B, Y, and X, plug them in, and it should work. 3 to the 4th power is 81. 1 equals 5 to the 0 power. Anything to the 0 power is 1. 100 equals 10 to the 2nd. Okay, B, Y, and X. So, the exponent is always the answer. Simple as that. Next page. Okay, so up top, you're just putting these together. Okay. Single logarithmic expression. Okay, plus means times. A lot of you are getting really good at these. If you wrote y4, that's the same thing. Minus means divide. It's not log x divided by log. It's log x divided by all of this. But first things first, anytime you see that number in front, that has to come up as an exponent first. Then I can combine logs. 3 squared is 9, and minus means divide, so I'm going to divide by 9. Okay. 3 comes up. 2 to the 3rd power is 8. So this is really log 8 minus log 8, which is minus means divide, log 1. Okay. The 4 comes up. 3 to the 4th power is 81. Minus means divide. 81 divided by 27. This is the non-calculator version. Hopefully you can remember if I times this by 3, it's 81, so it kind of works that way. 81 divided by 27 is 3. I'm not going to give you numbers that are crazy, but you should be able to go 27 times 3. X cubed comes up. 5 comes up to make this a 32. And there's nothing on that one, so x cubed plus means times. So log of, what did we say this was? 32 x cubed minus log 16. Minus means divide, so I'm going to divide 32 by 16, and that is exactly 2. So I get log 3 of 2x cubed. This comes up as an exponent. You're going to have to know this because, again, this is not on the calculator version, that to the 1/3 power means cube root of that number, and cube root of 64 is 4. So log, and then that means, of course, divide. Okay. Same thing, this is square, when there's nothing there, it's square root. When it's cube root, there'll be a 3 there. When it's fourth root, there'll be a 4 there. When there's nothing there, it means square root, which means, again, at 13, excuse me, to the 1/2 power. And then again, I'm trying to go backwards from one step to the rest, so this exponent comes out front as 1/2 log 13. Times means plus, divide means subtract, so I'm just going to separate them one at a time. Log 8 plus because b is times, minus because 4 is divided, and that's it. That's my answer on that one. Okay. A lot of you want to leave this, by the way, as log of 8b minus log of 4. And that's not necessarily wrong, but it's not completed. Okay, it is wrong. It's just not, you need to complete it. Times means plus. That's how I went to there. Okay. This problem probably take me a couple of steps here. Minus means divide, so log of 2 to the a minus log b, and then bring the a out front. A log 2 minus log b. Times, so let's do this one at a time here. Minus again means divide. This is times. This exponent's got to come out. I can rewrite this as log 3 plus log b minus 3 log c. Okay. When you evaluate, it's really easy if you just convert them to y equals b to the x power. Okay, remember b, y, and x. 8 equals 8 to the x power. What does x have to equal? Well, x has to equal 1. Okay, all of these, that's what I'm going to do. Squared, because 4 squared, not 4, because it's not 4 times 4. This is mini 10, so b, y, and x. Anything to the 0 power is what equals 1. Do you need to put x for all these? No, but I do it anyway. This one gets a lot of kids all the time. If it takes a 2 to go this way, then you just take that 2 and put a 1 over it to go the other way. The opposite of squaring something is to square root, and we have said over and over that 1/2 power means square root. Okay? And that's the answer here, by the way, 1/2. This is a 10, b, y, x. This is 100,000 equals 10 to the x, and remember the 10 rule is always just count the zeros. There's 5 zeros, so the answer is 5. Or keep multiplying by 10, whatever you want to do. B, y, and x. Students struggle so much with this, it's crazy, because it is staring you right in the face when you write it in the other form. 8 to the negative third power equals 8 to the x. Well, of course they're the same. X is negative 3. Okay. Don't make that harder than what it is. Okay. Alright, so the next ones we got some work to do before we can just do it. We got to combine them. So again, the 3 comes up here. Minus means divide. I've got log base 2 of 64. 4 to the third power is 64. Okay. Minus means divide. 64 divided by 8 is of course 8. Now I've got my b, y, and x. 8 equals 2 to the x power. X equals 3. Plus means times. When you multiply by 10, guys, I'm not going to give you anything harder than that. It moves the decimal over one place. It's log 6, 36 equals x. B, y, and x. X is 2. Minus means divide. I got to pull the 1/2 up here, and that just becomes a 2. Minus means divide. Log 3 of 54 divided by 2 is 27. Set it equal to x. B, y, x. I've got 27 equals 3 to the x. Of course, x equals 3. And down at the bottom, remember, this is where we do the 10 thing, or the 3 thing, or the 4 thing. All of these are the 10 thing. So we'll just go 10 thing to do the opposite to both sides, which is an exponent. Again, is the opposite of a log. So that cancels those. 2x minus 6 equals 100. You can do this math without a calculator, I'm sure of it. 2x equals 94. Divide to get excuse me, I should have been adding, is 106, 106, and I get 53. Right? If you don't, we can check this. Plug 53 in. 2 times 53 is 106. Minus 6 is 100. Log base 10 of 100 equals x equals 2byx 100 equals 10 squared. So you can plug it in and check yourself by writing in the other form. Do I expect any of you to do that? Not really. But you can do it. Minus 5 to both sides on this one because we got to get it as one log statement. This already was as one log statement. This one is not, but until I do it this way, then I can do the 10 thing to get 1,000. 3 zeros. Okay. Pull the 1/2 up. This is one that a lot of people struggle with, and plus means times. So I've got log of 2x to the 1/2 power equals 1. It's one log statement. Do the 10 thing. These cancel. 2x to the 1/2 equals 10. Divide by 2. Bring it up here. X to the 1/2 power equals 5. To the 1/2 power means square root. We keep saying it. The opposite of square root is to square it. 5 squared is 25. The other way to think about it is the opposite of 1/2 power is its reciprocal. If this was 1/3, it'd be 3 over 1. If this was 3, it would be 1 over 3, etc. So these cancel. Do the 2 over 1, which is just 2 on this side, and 25 is your answer. You're going to see one of those for sure. Minus means divide. We get log of x over 2 equals 3. Do the 10 thing. X over 2 equals 1,000. And the opposite of divide, of course, is to multiply. You get 2,000. 3 to what power equals 27? The first reaction you want to do is to log both sides. But 3 to what power equals 27 is just 3. Don't make that harder than it is. Okay, same thing here. 2 to what power equals 64? Well, if you think about it, the reason that this is so easy is because 3 to the x equals 3 to the third. The bases equal to each other. I can just set the exponents equal to each other. Same thing here. If I set this in terms of 2 to what power? 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64 is 6. And now that they have the same base, I can set the exponents equal to each other. And there's that. Now, the inverse problems. Again, all you do is a couple of steps here. Step 1, switch x, y. Okay, so x equals log. I'm going to do them both at the same time so you can see it's actually the same steps for both types of problems. Okay, first step, switch x and y. Second step, write in inverse form. Inverse form is the opposite. The opposite, these switch around. Remember, we've got log base b of y equals x. That converts to y equals b to the x power. And we just want to switch it into the other one now that I have it. So I identify what y, b, and x is. This is my b, this is my y, this is my x. I'm just going to plug them into the other form. Y equals 3 to the x power. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not trying to make it harder than that. Same thing here. Write it in the other form. So identify y, b, and x. Yeah, I know that's a little bit weird, but this isn't that bad. So I've got y, b, and x. So I plug them into log base b of y equals x. And look at that. It's solved for me already too. Okay, I'm not even asking you to do more steps after that. Just do you understand to switch the variables and write it in the other form. That's it. Good luck on this. We'll take this part 2 days from now.